Good morning. We will come to order for the St. Lucie County Code Enforcement Special Magistrate hearing for September 3rd, 2025. Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I have read the minutes for April 6, 2025, and I move that we approve, and I do approve of the minutes. At this point, we will swear in all staff members to testify at today's hearing.
Michael Jarahan,
Oscar Moreira,
Paula Guy.
Josh Guevara, James O'Connor.
Jada Senior Best.
Ryan Alves.
Merlandi Moise.
Do you affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Yes.
Thank you. Item 4 on the agenda calls for public comments. This is something that's been adopted over the years. If you have something you'd like to bring before us this morning at the hearing that doesn't have to do with any particular case, because you will have the opportunity to be heard on your case, but if there's something else, this is your time to let us all know. Thank you. Nobody else? So we're going to move with a consent agenda that does not exist. So we'll go straight into the violation hearings. This is item 6 on your agenda, and we'll go in the order as presented on the agenda. Case number 1, 2501-114402. Location of the violation is 1105 Charlotta Street in Fort Pierce, and the property owner is the estate of Robert W. Englishman. Anybody representing the estate? We'll move on at this point. Case number 2, 2502-114-503. Location of violation, 4600 Grady Drive in Fort Pierce. The property owner, Monica Marlene Gotti and Benjamin James Gotti. This case has been removed because of compliance efforts made by the alleged violators. So we'll move on. Case number 3. This is case number 2501-114436. Location of violation, 784 Nettles Boulevard in Jensen Beach. The property owner, Sydney N. and Margaret Woodmore. Are the Woodmores here? Seeing no one, we'll move on. Case number 4 is case number 2504-114834. Location of violation, 7240 South US Highway 1 in Port St. Lucie. And this case, the business owner here was Wade Watson, I believe, and has been removed by staff. So we'll move on. There is a companion case, and that was case number 2504-114832. Location of violation, 7240 South US Highway 1, Port St. Lucie. Property owner, BBT Holdings, and this has been removed by staff as well. case number 6, which is case number 2507-115371. Location of violation, 2510 Tamarind Drive, Fort Pierce. Property owner, German American Trading. Please identify yourself to the secretary for the record, and if you will be speaking, give your name and your address and take the oath.
Just speak into the microphone.
Yes,
clearly.
ma'am. Deetra Kidwell, 5804 Winter Garden Parkway.
Are either of you speaking on behalf?
They run the motel. I'm the general manager of the motel and the mainland properties.
So they will or won't be speaking?
Yes.
Okay, so if they will be speaking, then they need to give their name and address as well, please.
Brittany Rule, 5707 Tangelo Drive, Fort Pierce, Florida. Jessica Iacono, 6405 4th Lane, Vero Beach, Florida.
Can you please raise your right hand? Do you affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Thank you very much. At this time, we will hear from the investigating officer in this case, Brian Alves.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Very well. Good morning.
For the record, I am submitting 9 photos dated 7/10/25, 10 dated 7/30/25, 4 dated 9/2/25, 1 proof of service dated 8/18/25, and an aerial of 2025 from the property appraiser's website. 2510 Tamarind Drive was found in violation of section 13.08.01 Standard Housing Code, section 309, pest elimination. All structures must be free from insects. They are requested to please hire an exterminator to treat the structure, then submit a copy of the exterminator's findings and treatment completed. Number 2, 13.08.01 Standard Housing Code, section 604.3, electrical system hazard. The electrical systems, such as exposed electrical boxes, are unsafe. Please replace the missing covers on the doors. Number 3, 13.08.01 Standard Housing Code, section 304, exterior structure. The roof and or windows must be in good repair, structurally sound. They are requested to please repair the roof and the windows. Number 4, 13.08.01 Standard Housing Code, section 604.3, electrical system hazards. The electrical systems, such as exposed wires, are unsafe. Please hire a licensed electrician to repair the exposed wires and provide a copy of the report. Number 5, 13.08.01 Standard Housing Code, section 305, interior structure. Please remove mold and mildew throughout Department 1. Number 6, 13.08.01 Standard Housing Code, section 305, interior structure. The wall must be in repair. Please repair the wall in the living room of Apartment 1. Number 7, 13.09.00 Exterior Property Maintenance Code, section 302.7, exterior structure. All accessory structures must be structurally sound. Please repair the fence. Number 8, 38-26 abandoned property, junk, trash, and debris outside storage of items and materials are not permitted. They were requested to please remove items such as toilets, wood, mattresses, furniture, and other miscellaneous items from the property. Number 9, 38-97 prohibited acts, excessive growth of grass and weeds are not permitted. They were requested to please mow and maintain the property. A notice of violation letter was issued on 7/11/25. After receiving no compliance, a notice to appear letter was issued on 7/31/25, and the property was posted on 8/21/25 for the code board hearing of 9/3/25. As of 9/2/25, the property remained in violation. I have had no contact with the owners, but as of recently, I was in contact with the manager.
Thank you. Staff, had anything else to add at this point? All right, speaking on behalf of the property owner, Do you admit to these violations?
Yes, I was just recently made aware of these violations.
Speak into the microphone a
I'm
little
sorry.
bit more. Move it down. Yeah,
Is that better?
yeah, better.
Okay, yes, I was just recently informed of these violations. Mr. Bryan sent me an email yesterday, so I did go over there as soon as I found out. We got a few things taken care of, and Mr. Bryan has agreed to meet with us over on the property so he can go over exactly what else needs to be done so we can get it taken care of.
Looking at the photographs, it looks like there's a lot that needs to be done.
Yes, I agree,
How long do you anticipate getting everything in compliance?
Brittany.
It's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. What's the amount of time that you can give us? I really don't know. Like I said, this was just brought to my attention. So some of this, like getting the licensed electrician, that's going to depend on them. I'll make phone calls as soon as I get back into the office. And
Mr. Alves,
Yes, sir.
what are your thoughts in terms of compliance, how long this might take? They indicated they plan on meeting with you.
Yeah, I'm more than happy to go out there and go through each item with them. The only issue I saw is that the property was posted, the notice to appear was signed for by the owner, which I have a copy of. I can give you the date on that if you'd like. August 5th at 4:21 p.m. I mean, I would think that it would take months to get this
Yeah.
to get a lot of this stuff back right.
I noticed that the notice of violation was issued just in July,
Right.
just a little less than 2 months ago.
That is correct.
Has any action been taken
No.
that you saw?
My first contact was, I happened to go out to the property to take my final pictures, and there was a gentleman there who put me in contact with the manager, and that's how we got to it.
Mr. Krieger,
Yes.
I'd like to add in information to the case. It was, the complaint was received by the state agency department, the Division of Motels and Restaurants, for the condition of this home, and it was referred to us by them, and in addition to the Department of Health for other violations.
This is a motel,
yes.
Yes, that is correct.
and is it being leased out? Are people staying there?
No, they have month or weekly registrations. They come into the office and pay weekly.
So there are people living in this complex.
They do stay long-term sometimes, yes.
So the owner is collecting rents for this facility.
I'm not sure.
Notice of violation was issued in July,
Okay.
and according to the officer, no real steps have been taken to correct these violations. So you've had almost 2 months to do something. Was anything done?
We did get, I just spoke to Mr. Bryan, I'm sorry, I don't remember your last name, and I can't see that far, yesterday. So that was the first time that I knew about this. So after I spoke with him, he did speak with our maintenance guy, Steve, yesterday. So after he met with him, I was there at the motel and got Steve working on some of this. So I got the lawn mowed, we got the fence repaired, we cleaned up behind the fence area, and we cleaned up the debris there in front of number 7 and 8 on that corner there. And then what else? Oh, and we took care of the wasp nest as well. And the plexiglass will be done first thing tomorrow morning. My maintenance guy is out today. And the exterminator, which unit was that? I missed that when you were going over the list.
The exterminator was for the wasp situation.
Oh, okay. So we did get rid of the wasp nest, and there's no wasp there now, so that's taken care of.
I'm going to give you a little time to get this taken care of. I suggest you meet with Mr. Alves ASAP,
Yes.
and he will tell you specifically what needs to get done. Because if you do not get it done within the date I am going to impose here, a fine of up to $250 a day will be imposed.
Yes, sir.
In reference to case number 2507-115371, I make the following determination. After hearing the facts in this case, the testimony, and the recommendation of staff with regard to the existence of a violation, I, as magistrate, determine that the violation did in fact occur, and the alleged violator committed the violation. An order of enforcement is warranted. If the order of enforcement is not complied with by November 15th, a fine of up to $250 per day may be imposed. A cost of $200 is being imposed today as the cost for prosecuting the case. Please take notice that on the first Wednesday of the month after the date given for compliance, at 9 a.m. or soon thereafter as may be heard, a fine hearing will be held if the violation is not abated by the given compliance date. I gave you very generously till November 15th, and the reason I did that, generally looking at this, it really needs to be addressed immediately, but the notice of violation was issued just in July. Thank you. Meet with Mr. Alves and get it done.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Just as a point of reference, the purpose of code enforcement is compliance. So we want people to comply. We do not want people to be fined. But good faith efforts have to be shown towards compliance. Number 7, case number 2507-115471. Location of violation, 6505 Pensacola Road in Fort Pierce. The property owners, Tanisha Grant and Velma Phillips, and they've abated the situation. We got compliance, so it goes away. Number 8, 2504-114950. Location of violation, 2023 St. Lucie Boulevard, 249 in Fort Pierce. Property owner, Eduardo Aponte. Mr. Aponte? Not here. Let's move on. Number 9, case number 2505-115032. Location of violation, 1713 North 44th Street in Fort Pierce. The property owner, Samel Jefferson. He has a life estate. And then there's Samel Jefferson II and Carolyn Wade. I would assume they're the remainder beneficiaries.
I guess.
Can you please state your name and address into the microphone?
Samuel Jefferson, 301 North 44th Street, Fort Pierce.
Can you please raise your right hand? Do you affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Point of reference, Section B, 3826, has been abated, so you're halfway there, Mr. Jefferson. Let's hear from Mr. Morera. Case number 2505-115032.
Morning, sir.
Good morning.
For the record, I am submitting one photo dated May 20, 2025, one photo dated June the 17th, 2025, 3 photos dated July the 31st, 2025, and 2 photos dated August 22nd, 2025, 1 photo dated September the 2nd, 2025, 1 photo from the property appraiser website from 2018 showing that the shed was not on the property. 1 photo from the St. Lucie County Geographical Information System website from 2021 showing when the shed first appeared on the property. During my inspection, I found the property located at 1713 North 44th Street to be in violation of Section 11.05.01, building and sign permits. Please obtain a permit for the shed or remove. I issued a notice of violation letter on May the 15th, 2025, and gave a compliance date of May 29, 2025. After getting a compliance certified notice to appear for the September 3rd, 2025 code board meeting was issued on July the 31st, 2025, and delivered August 4th, 2025. I have remained in contact with the owner. There's no permit on file at this time. As of September the 2nd, 2025, the property remains in violation.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Jefferson, are you in violation?
Well, obviously I am. I bought the house, and I actually inherited the problems right here. So, and he was working with Mr. Moore, I ain't gonna lie, he was working with me and everything. So I can't blame it on him, I got blame on me, but I had a lot of things going on. And I came here Friday too. First of all, the shed was there. I had to find the paperwork, get like, look on the shed and get the name of the company who built it, to get the proper approval paper. I got the proper approval paper, but I'm in my thinking process, I'm gonna move it, just get the permit for it. So I came down here Friday to get a permit for that shed, because I got the proper approval and everything. I draw it up and everything, what I'm gonna do with it, if I can leave it there. But some kind of way, they ain't had time. It was like closing, he told me come back Monday. I'm not Monday, yesterday. I didn't come back yesterday, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm thinking about just moving out of the way, just get that problem out of the way, just know. But I just need a little more time. I appreciate y'all giving me a little more time. I'm definitely gonna take care of this month, for
So
sure.
you try to get a permit. If you can't do that, you're going to move it.
Yes. I got the proper approval. I got everything for it to move. I move forward with it.
Yeah.
But now I don't know how far I want to just go with it, because I think I have to do some work to the shed, so I don't know if it's rough for me to go and do all that to it or just move it. So I'm in the middle of that, you know.
When did you inherit the property?
I think I bought it last year.
And do you know how old that shed is?
That's the problem. I got a proper approval paper. I really don't know. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Is it tied down?
I was not able to get on the property and inspect it, sir. The areas on the property showed that the shed was possibly, or it's been there since at least 2020 or 2021, sir.
How much? Go ahead, Mr. Jefferson.
No, you go ahead.
No, I was just going to ask you, how much time do you think you need to resolve this
I don't really
situation?
think it's a major problem. It's just like, I guess, got so much other things going on at the time. I think it started off by a car in the yard. Cause like I said, when I bought it, it was a car in the yard. So I got a car moved like you asked me to. I got the grass cut like you asked me to. So the only problem I got stuck in that shed.
Yeah.
I want the shed there because I got my stuff in it. But I don't want to cause no problem, cost me $250 a day either. So I'm just like, I don't know which way I'm going to go with this.
Yeah.
But I do have a proper approval paper for it, because I just ordered online and got the proper approval paper for it. And I came on Friday to get a permit, and then I think it was on closing.
I understand.
Like by the time closing came,
Yeah.
he told me to come out Tuesday, because yesterday was Monday was the holiday, so I'm debating which way I want to do. I'm going to move it out of the way, get out of the way, or keep it there.
Do you have the manufacturer's information?
Yeah,
You
that's
have
what I got,
everything?
yeah. I got it. I finally got it.
Staff, if he has that information, how long do you think it would take to get a permit for this thing?
It don't take long.
I was going to say, we can complete our reviews within 15 business days as long as it meets all the setbacks and he has all the required documents. He could theoretically get the permit within that time, but it would depend on if all the paperwork shows the necessary information and it meets the required setbacks per the zoning regulations.
Do you understand about the setbacks? Do you have a
Yeah, I got
survey?
4
on
inch.
the
I think 4 inch, right?
I don't know the setbacks off the top of my head.
I think 4. I think it's 4.
Do you have a survey that shows where the shed is or would be?
Yes, I got everything.
And you think it might be worth a shot to try to get it permitted? I mean, I understand why people need sheds, but you also have to make sure, they're gonna make sure it's really tied down too.
Right, yeah, I know. I
So
know.
it doesn't go
I-
blown away.
I know all the procedures. But just give me a little more time. I'm working on everything and get everything.
Yeah, you seem to be making a good faith effort. Mo? How much
I don't
time
have
do
a
you
problem with it. Usually, if he had the proper documentation, like MJ said, doesn't require that much time. Now, if he doesn't have it, it's going to require him a lot of time because he's going to have to get an architect and then blueprint, and then you're looking at 60 to 90 days. But if he allegedly has the paperwork, it shouldn't take more than 30 days, based on what MJ said.
And to remove it wouldn't
Well, that
take
will
very
be
long
up
at
to
all.
him. I can, we can give him 30, 60 days. It's up to you, sir.
60? Yeah,
That's fair.
let's do 60 days. I think you should be able to resolve it one
Yeah,
way or
it'll be
another
re-
by that point.
I'm sure it'll be resolved, and you give me a little time if I can fall asleep first and think on things. So I'm sure I have everything taken care of by then. And I tell you, catch up with you, Mr. Mo, and let you know it's done. So we don't have to go to this problem no more. All right.
Okay. Anything else? Anybody care to add anything? All right. We'll make a ruling now. We'll give you a little bit of time. In reference to case number 2505-115032, I make the following determination. After hearing the facts in this case, the testimony, and the recommendation of staff with regard to the existence of a violation, I, as magistrate, determine that the violation in fact did occur, and the alleged violator committed the violation. An order of enforcement is warranted. If the order of enforcement is not complied with by November 5th, 2025, a fine of up to $250 per day may be imposed. A cost of $200 is being imposed as the cost for prosecuting this case. Please take notice that on the first Wednesday of the month, after the date given for compliance at 9 a.m., or soon thereafter as may be heard, a fine hearing will be held if the violation is not abated by the given compliance date. Thank you, sir. So you have till November 5th to get everything done. If you do, you won't even have to come back. But if you don't, then we'll stand and take a look at whether to fine you.
Is it possible? Is it possible you could raise the $200? I have a non-profit. I do for the community and everything. So I got others that I need to take the money to buy, here, because the kids and the homeless. I do that. I got non-profit, and I do a lot for the community, and I can go toward the people who really need it, toward this problem.
You understand that staff spends a lot of time working on these cases, and the county needs to be able to recoup some of the costs of doing that without getting the taxpayers having to pay for it, and that's why we do that. So I'm gonna keep it in place. I'm sorry, but
No problem.
you'll have some time to pay that. All right, they're not gonna be knocking on your door tomorrow to
All right.
ask for $200, okay?
All right. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Okay. Number 10, case number 2506, 115288. Location of violation 7507 Banyan Street in Fort Pierce. Ray Investment Property LLC, the property owner, and this, I believe, has been abated.
That is correct.
Number 11, case number 2505, 115023. Location of violation 6605 Bayard Road in Fort Pierce. Property owner, Fanique Pierre. Mr. Pierre? Just a point, if you have a telephone, smartphone, put it on Do Not Disturb. Go to Settings, and you can find it, Do Not Disturb. Watch, my phone will go off now. No. Yeah, okay. Number 12, case number 2507, 115409. Location of violation is 7302 Lakeland Boulevard in Fort Pierce. The property owner is Golmareza Torkaman. Mr. Torkaman, welcome this morning. I believe they're going to insist you. Are you able to hear me?
I can hear.
You can hear?
Your Honor,
We need to have you sworn in and identified.
Can you speak into the microphone?
yes.
Can you please state your name and address? Your name and your address.
Ghulam Reza Turkmen
And your address?
for my residential address?
Yes, sir.
470 12th Place Southeast, Vero Beach, Florida 32962.
Do you affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth,
I do
and nothing but the truth?
nothing except the truth.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Torkaman. All right, Mr. Morera is the investigating officer, and he's going to testify now.
Yes, sir. For the record, I am submitting one photo dated July 16, 2025, one photo dated July the 22nd, 2025, one photo dated August 7, 2025, four photos dated August the 22nd, 2025, three photos dated September the 2nd, 2025, one photo from the Property Appraiser website, and one photo from the St. Lucie County Geographical Information System website. During my inspection, I found the property located at 7302 Lakeland Boulevard to be in violation of Section 13.09.00 Exterior Property Maintenance Code, Section 302.7 Accessory Structures. All accessory structures must be in good repair. Please remove or repair the shed. Section 1309 Exterior Property Maintenance. I'm sorry, that section has been abated.
Section B
Maintenance
on the
code
agenda.
section. No, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Section 13.09.00 Exterior Property Maintenance Code, Section 302.7 Accessory Structure. All accessory structures must be structurally sound. Please repair the gazebo or remove. I issued a notice of violation letter on July the 17th, 2025, and gave a compliance date of July 31st, 2025. After getting no compliance, a certified notice to appear for the September 3rd, 2025 Code Board meeting was issued on August 8, 2025, and posted on August 11, 2025. I have contact with the owner, and as of September the 2nd, 2025, the property remains in violation.
So we're talking both about the shed and the gazebo.
That is correct, sir.
All right. Mr. Torkaman, you heard from the investigating officer. Are you in violation? Speak into the microphone, please.
Yeah,
Stand
first
behind it,
of all,
pull
Your
it down.
Honor,
Pull
I-
it down so we get.
I cannot hear. I need some of these too tight for me. I used to be a fighter pilot, and I lost my hearing. I can't hear. I explained for them. I will not be able to hear anything. I need one of this computer to type for me. I'm old man. I'm 80 years old, and I can hear nothing.
You can't hear what I'm saying right now,
Very hardly, but I didn't hear nothing but he said.
but you just understood my question.
Yes. I hardly try to understand.
You can see the pictures, correct?
Let's see.
The pictures?
Actress.
Pictures.
The pictures on the screen.
Actress.
The photographs right here, sir, the pictures.
No, this is, the first one is not my property. I don't know, something wrong. I go this morning, check on it. She sent me an email last night, and I see the trailer, and it looks like very odd. I don't have that trailer. I go check this morning. This looks like 72 Pacific Avenue. Something mistake here.
Sir, there was a gentleman at the property cleaning the property with a truck and a trailer right in front of the shed yesterday when I took those pictures.
This morning, I go over there, before I come here, I check. There is no trailer. And this is some mistake here.
There's no mistake, sir. I was at the property yesterday again. There was a gentleman on the property cleaning the property. There was a vehicle parked on the back of the property, and also the trailer was behind the truck.
When you presented the notice of violation, that was all written down what the violation was done?
You mean
That it
this-
was, well, the original notice of violation.
Yeah, I need that.
Yeah, so not
You
not
saw
the,
that, right?
not the trailer nor the truck, if that's what you mean.
It
but-
didn't mention the trailer or the truck? on
No,
the notice?
because that was parked only the day of the inspection, which it was performed September the 2nd. That was never parked there at all. Again, there was a gentleman cleaning the property, and he happened to be parked on the back of the property. But the trailer was never a violation because it was never parked in the back of the property during all my inspection. That just happened to be there parked yesterday because they were hauling trash off the property.
So did it look like they were taking care of everything?
Oh, they made a lot of progress. The property was an entire mess. The grass was at 6 feet high in the back. He had a whole bunch of outside storage, so he made a lot of progress. What happened was, allegedly, he did not want to remove the shed nor get a permit for the shed. And also the gazebo, he felt that there was nothing wrong with it. So those were the only two violations remaining on the case. But the outside storage, the dilapidated fence, also the grass was baited.
Are you renting out this property?
This morning, Your Honor, I go check, because this
Please.
looks like last night I got this picture, and it's very odd. He emailed it to me yesterday. Last night I see it. I go this morning before I come here, I check it out. There is not such a trailer over there. I guess he got the wrong address. He said 7302 Pacific Avenue. I don't know what that is. It's a mistake or misunderstanding or something. This is a shed over there, and I would like to paint it. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just rusted. And I wanted to paint it. I wanted to fix it. But the problem, he said, you have to get a permit and you have to destroy it. This shed is less than 10 by 10 feet. I don't need to get permit to paint my property. I'm a landowner. I have right to repair my property. And he chased me all over. 2 years ago, some homeless man wrecked one of my property, 5443 North US 1. He broke the stone and broke the window. It was living in my property. I get the homeless man, I call the cop. They couldn't find him. He gave me $20,000 damages for that. When the inspector come to inspect it, everybody was crying for me. They said, you don't have to get permit for that. It's only one window, you could fix the glasses. But he made me $20,000 damages. He go to my property without permission. This shed is in the back of the property. And it need permission of the owner to go back to the privacy. The code enforcement is public view, when you can see on the street. You see grass, you see junk, you see, but they can't go in our property. I'm living in Vero Beach, and I got a lot of property in Vero Beach. I had never seen somebody break in my property in Vero Beach. If you need somebody, we had a supervisor before her. She was a wonderful. Couple of nights, she put him in place. He go to my places without tenant asking, he didn't let him permission to get in. He go make picture every trouble. But the supervisor put him in place. I was in peace for some time. They changed the supervisor. Now he chased me all over my property. He put my name on the computer and he get after me. He made me to cut the trees. It cost me $15,000. It's not almost in my property. It's a neighbor property. Yes.
Okay, that's not relevant today.
It was 6501. He made me to cut 4
Okay.
big trees.
We're
So
talking
he's
about
after me to give me
7302.
the maximum damage he can. Now, he over there, the tenant left. So we got a new tenant. Of course, they mess up everything. We understand that. If somebody is landlord, he understands better than anybody else. We go over there, we start cleaning and fixing it up. Before we clean out, he attack on me. He go in the back of the building without my permission. It was a little swimming pool that we have hundreds like that in Vero Beach. This is not a code violation. That people put a little plastic pool for the children to get cold. He get after me, it's a swimming pool. This is not a swimming pool. And then he get after me for everything. And now we clean it up, we take everything. We wanted to fix our shed. I want to paint it. And I want to fix part of my fence. I take it already out. It's a little bit left over in the front. I have right to fix my house, and he can interfere with me. I don't know what he wanted from me. I'm old man, I'm 80 years old, I'm young, and he's after me every day. He make my life miserable. Last night I was going to get heart attack. I called my doctor this morning. He said, you have to go ER. You're in danger, but I have to come here so I can go to ER. Now I don't feel good. I get lost. I'm old man. I don't know what he wants from me. He attacked every property I have. He give me the maximum damage.
All right. You're making some serious accusations. Mr. Moreira, do you care to respond at all?
Yes, sir. All these pictures are taken from the right of way. We don't enter anyone's property unless we're granted access. Now, unfortunately, he does own a lot of properties in the county, and every complaint that we receive are driven by the tenants. I never had to open a case against this gentleman on a proactive matter. We always react. If anybody calls, we go out there, we inspect the property, and we cite accordingly. Every case that I have against this gentleman has been reported by the tenants or a neighbor.
Now answer to him. He was after me.
Okay, you know what? You stated earlier that you couldn't hear anything, but you certainly understand what Mr. Moreira had to say. And no, and you've been provided with assistance as well. So I have to view the credibility of the testimony.
Yes.
And I believe you can understand what the violations are. Yes. You've made your case, and then some. You've attacked the officer as well. He's made his case, and I'm going to rule now based on what's been presented to me today. I'm going to give you a little time to take care of this situation. You'll have to meet with Mr. Moreira if you want, but you're going to have to take care of this. You're talking about painting this shed. It may need a little bit more than paint. And you talk about why should I get a permit? Well, if a permit is required, that's the law of St. Lucie County. We have to uphold the laws of the county. Thank you, Mr. Torkelman. It's been a pleasure. I'm going to rule now on the case.
Thank you.
In reference to case number 2507-115409, I make the following determination. After hearing the facts in this case, the testimony, and the recommendation of staff with regard to the existence of a violation, I, as magistrate, determine that the violation in fact did occur and the alleged violator committed the violation. An order of enforcement is warranted. If the order of enforcement is not complied with by November 15th, a fine of up to $250 per day may be imposed. A prosecution cost of $200 is being imposed today as the cost for prosecuting the case. Please take notice that on the first Wednesday of the month, after the date given for compliance, at 9 a.m. or soon thereafter, as may be heard, a fine hearing will be held if the violation is not abated by the given compliance date. So you have till November 15th, get it all taken care of, and there will be no fine. Thank you, Mr.
Your Honor,
Torkelman.
I have one question. I don't need him as my, I had Diana before for 15 years. He was a wonderful girl. We never had problem. I never was had to come here. I am a property owner and I've been landlord for 40 years. I don't need him. He's after me to give me maximum damages.
Yeah.
I need another new
Thank you,
code
sir.
enforcement.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
We're going to move on. Case number 2506-115-245-6501 Palomar Parkway A, Fort Pierce. This was Mr. Torkelman, and this case was abated.
Thank you.
So you did abate a case with regard to the trees. Thank you. Case number 2503-114635. Location of violation 2445 Jernigan Road in Fort Pierce. The property owner, Michael and Christina L. Langen. Investigating officer, Jacinda Bess? Jacinda?
Jadacenia.
Okay.
That's close.
Ms. Bess?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Bess is the investigating officer, and I believe there's somebody here speaking on behalf of the alleged property owner. Please get sworn in, sir, and state your name and address.
Please state your name and address.
Brad Curry, Haley Ward, 10250 Southwest Village Parkway, Port St. Lucie, Florida, 34987. Sorry.
Please raise your right hand. Do you affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I did.
Thank you. Ms. Bess, your testimony, please.
Yes, sir. For the record, I am submitting 5 photos dated March 11th, 2025. 5 photos dated August 21st, 2025. 2 photos dated August 25th, 2025. And 4 photos dated September 2nd, 2025. Property appraiser Ariel is from 2025. During my inspection, I found the property located at 2445 Jernigan Road, Fort Pierce, to be in violation of 11.05.01, building and sign permits. Please obtain a permit for the roof extension installed on metal storage building. The permit is applied for now and in review. I issued a notice of violation letter on March 28th and gave a compliance date of April 11th. After getting no compliance, a certified notice to appear for September 3rd court board meeting was issued June 20th, 2025. I have remained in contact with the property owner. As of September 2nd, 2025, the property remains in violation.
Thank you. Mr. Curry,
Yes, sir.
tell me, are your clients in violation?
We are looking at our options on how the best way to handle this. We have a substantial amount of money invested in that addition, that lean-to, and we are looking at potentially pulling it back to meet an accessory structure setback. We are looking at potentially moving it to the other side of the building. We are working with the building department. We did submit a building permit, and we just need a little bit more time to figure out the best way to handle this. And the building permit process in itself takes about 3 months to get through, based on my experience. And I think we need a couple of months to get ready to determine the best way to move forward. And so I would request a 6-month extension to this so we can determine the best way to move forward. And again, the justification for that is 3 months to prepare the plans to whether we're cutting it back or flipping it to the other side of the building, and then 3 months for the building permit process.
I understood that something has been applied for.
We submitted a building permit for where it stands right now, and I believe the building permit was rejected because it didn't meet the setbacks.
That's correct.
That's the reason?
That is correct.
So it's still in review, and you have to decide with regards.
It's not currently in review. We've denied the review because of the setback, and there were some digital signature issues, but mainly because of the setback.
Does the request sound reasonable based on what you've heard?
I think 6 months is a little excessive.
It's going to take us a couple of months to do the plans. If we flip it to the other side of the building, we'll have to have an engineer revise the plans. And being that I'm a consultant that does this for a living, it takes us a couple of at least 2 to 3 months to get things ready for submittal. And then I know the building permit process, typically, I quote my clients, that's going to be 3 months. Now, maybe Michael has something different to say, but my experience has been is the building permit process is about a 3-month process. By the time you submit, get comments, and then resubmit.
I think it'll depend on what option they choose to go. As Mr. Curry said, if they do decide to re-engineer this whole thing, there is some drawback time to that. Or if they decide to try and go for a variance, I mean, there's multiple options they can do here.
The variance process would also take probably about the time we submit it.
Yeah,
You're
so
talking 3 or 4 months in that process.
It depends on which process they go with. As long as all the documents are fine. Our typical review time is within 15 business days. So it depends on if all those documents are actually submitted and how long that resubmittal takes to submit stuff back to us to respond to those comments. Again, 6 months I think seems a little excessive, maybe 4 or 5 months, but that's just my opinion.
Ms. Best, do you have any other comments?
No, sir.
Does anybody else have any comments?
I do, sir.
A gentleman is approaching. Please approach. Give your name and address and be sworn in.
My name, for the record, is George Emerson, 2375 Jernigan Road. I'm the principal complainant in this case.
Can you please raise your right hand? Do you affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do. I very much liked your remarks that said the purpose of code enforcement is to gain compliance through good faith efforts. And for the record, I have a letter for evidence purposes and some pictures. And I'll summarize it real quick for you because it's pertinent to your ruling, whatever that may be. I've owned the property adjacent, immediately north, for 24 years. I use my property for agricultural purposes that are consistent with its land use designation. In November of last year, 9 months ago, I approached my neighborly, because my wife and I saw work going on, an attachment to an existing structure that obviously encroached into the required side yard setback. We weren't sure initially what was going on, so we watched for a period of time, and it took, about a month for him, regardless of purchase of materials, but actual construction, about a month to put it up. But in any case, when it became clear that it would encroach into the setback, I walked over and asked the workers if they were contractors, building contractors, and they said they were. And it gave me an opportunity to closely observe what was going on. There were large, as the pictures showed, this is a good picture right here, large posts set very close to the property line, and a roof that it's hard to tell from the pictures, either is at or over the property line, such that whenever it rains, it dumps hundreds of gallons of water onto my property. Again, I use the property for agricultural purposes. I have planted hundreds of trees over the years. You can see some examples. When I approached my neighbor about it shortly thereafter, sidebar, when I went over there, they were doing work on a pole in an unsafe manner, in my opinion, so I even offered them neighborly the use of my tractor as a stable platform because I didn't want them falling on my property. And when I was doing that, I went back to my property and researched the codes. I looked for a building permit. There was none. I went into the land development code, confirmed that the side yard setback is 20 feet. I then approached my neighbor. I actually wrote a letter to my neighbor first because he wasn't home. I didn't get a response, so when I saw him out in the yard, I walked over to the fence line and we had a discussion regarding the problem. That was, again, November, beginning of December, thereabouts. I informed him of the problem, that it was causing damage to my property. There's a picture that code enforcement put on the screen that shows how much shading is caused by the structure. That's in the summertime. If you could flip through to, you should have this one where it shows this. There's an example right there. You can see how much shading falls onto my property. I informed the owner at the time of our initial conversation that part of my efforts to restore the property are forestry, and I was ordering 500 elite Florida slash pines from the Division of Forestry for planting in December. I had to wait, I had to delay because he told me at the time that he would take care of this, that he would remove it. That was, again, December of last year. But he wanted some more time because of the financial burdens that Mr. Curry mentioned. He wanted some more time, and I said I'd be happy to wait until after the holidays. We let time go by. February rolled around, nothing had been done. I verified again that no permits had been pulled, no good faith efforts had been made. So I approached my neighbor again at the fence line. This time I was met with a little bit more, not necessarily hostility, but a little bit more anger, I would say. And it was clear he didn't want to take the structure down. I said at the time, maybe you should have started by putting it on the opposite side instead of where it is, because it's damaging my property. He acknowledged the fact that it was creating a shading problem. But in the end, he told me, if you need to file a code enforcement case, go ahead. So we're here today. And in the meantime, nothing has been done. Now, can he apply for a building permit? I think he already has. He was told he was rejected because he can't meet the setback requirements. That's not a good faith effort. To put in for a permit that you know you can't get because you were told months ago that you don't meet the setback is not good faith. Can you go for a variance? Well, I suppose he could, but the Land Development Code says you have to demonstrate a hardship. And a choice to erect a structure without a permit is not a hardship, it's your choice. And to violate the setbacks so egregiously that it impacts the neighboring property, well, that's why we have land development codes, to protect properties all over the county from things like this. If there's a hardship, it's the one suffered by my wife and I for trying to be good neighbors and inform him months ago to get something done, and nothing is. You can hire all the architects and engineers you want to design something that might be compliant with the code in the future, but you can't design something that isn't in the setback and doesn't require an egregious variance that I, as the adjoining owner, would have to sign off on and say it's okay for you to even get one, and that will never happen. Nothing prevents that structure from being taken down until he can comply with the codes. He can put it on the other side if he wants to, go through that process and take 6 months or a year or even longer. but that structure can come down in less than 30 days because that's the amount of time it went up in. I would ask that the county do what the county code requires. He's had his time, and he hasn't complied.
You indicated you had some pictures, additional pictures?
I do. I have
and
my
a letter.
own pictures.
If you'd like to submit any evidence, you
And
can
I have,
give it to me and I'll take a look at it right now.
A letter too.
Show it first to, though, the county attorney.
Thank you, Josh.
So if I understand your position, the 6-month request is out of line.
Completely.
You think 30 days should be sufficient to take it down?
I see no option except removal until he can comply. And 30 days is plenty of time.
Mr. Curry, do you have anything you'd like to say with regard to the evidence that's just been presented today?
Thank you, Mr. Krieger. Again, Brad Curry for the record. I understand Mr. Emerson's his presentation today, and just we, as a consultant that works on these projects pretty regularly, we kind of wanted to see the system play out. Wanted to come to you today, get some feedback from you, and make decisions from today's meeting. So I understand that we have made efforts. Mr. Langen has spent money on doing a revised survey to submit as part of his building permit. So for Mr. Emerson to say we've done nothing, Mr. Langen's also hired me to help represent him. So I don't believe saying that we've done nothing is appropriate or factual. We have made efforts to try to move this forward. We do have other options, trying to weigh those out. We wanted to come to this meeting to determine exactly what the next steps were going to be and make decisions based on that. So I stick with asking for at least, the building permit process, if we tear it down now and we don't put it right back up, we have to determine the best way to remove it so that we can hopefully recycle as much of the material as possible to put it back up somewhere else, either on the other side or somewhere else. So it's not as simple as just tearing it down. I believe there will be additional costs involved in that. So we would like to see this play out as it has today, and then make a decision on the best way to move forward, whether moving it, tearing it down, or asking for a variance. So I stick with my original request to try to get as much time as possible, knowing that to prepare the plans to relocate it is at least, I would say it's at least a couple of months, and then for the building permit process is a couple of months as well. So that would be my recommendation. That would be my request today.
Thank you. Staff, anything else to say?
No, sir.
Just give me a second to look over the evidence that's been submitted. Mr. Emerson, do you want to approach again, please?
Yes, sir.
You served on the county's Board of Adjustment for over 10 years.
Yes, sir.
This letter is very convincing. I got to tell you that in these photographs. Mr. Curry, would you care to take a look at the letter submitted? If you haven't seen it from Mr. Emerson, I think you need to take a look at this.
I've seen, Mr. Krieger, I've seen the letter.
You have seen
Yes,
the
sir.
letter? Okay, thank you. Well, we're going to submit this into evidence and be part of my ruling, this letter and these photographs. Thank you. You know, Mr. Curry, just taking a look at this and having a little bit of experience in county government for the last 40-some years, having served on the county commission and been board attorney for over 30 years, not sure you're going to be able to rectify this situation as soon as you even think you can. Looking at this, it may be the best course of action to just take it down and move it. There may be a little financial burden, but I'm not sure if I give you 6 months, you won't be coming back here and asking for more time. I've seen this. I've seen how these things play out because of can't get this or you can't do that. So maybe we just need to deal with this right now. And I think the best course of action is going to be to take it down, to be very honest with you. Staff, do you have anything else to say as far as the request for the time? You had indicated 4 months under best situation, right?
Yeah, that would be best situation if they know what they're actually going to do with the
But
structure.
they don't know what they're going to do
Yeah.
at this point. You really don't. And so maybe we'll just deal with this right now. And I'm prepared to rule, based on all the evidence I see here right now. Getting a variance, I think, is going to be very, very, very difficult. And permits need to be gotten before, to be received before anybody puts anything up in this county. And I've seen it more times than I care to admit, and we're going to deal with this. In reference to case number 2503, 114635, I make the following determination. After hearing the facts in this case, the testimony, and the recommendation of staff with regard to the existence of a violation, I determine the violation, in fact, did occur, and the alleged violator committed the violation. An order of enforcement is warranted. If the order of enforcement is not complied with by November 5th, 2025, a fine of up to $250 per day may be imposed. A cost of $200 is being imposed right now as the cost for prosecuting this case. Please take notice that on the first Wednesday of the month after the date given for compliance at 9 a.m. or soon thereafter, as may be heard, a fine hearing will be held if the violation is not abated by the given compliance date. November 5th, that should give you plenty of time to take down the unpermitted structure. Thank you. Next, 15, case number 2506-115-243. Location of violation is 3119 Hammond Road, Fort Pierce, Florida. Property owner, Custom Built Marine Incorporated. Anybody here representing this corporation?
She's the complainant.
Well, if they're, yeah, we don't really, the matter's going to be found in default, meaning they're going to be found in violation if they don't show up. So in the next few minutes, I'm going to be calling all the default cases. And basically, if they're not here, it's going to be in default. And they're going to be found in violation. And they're going to be given, the staff is recommending a date of compliance. I can tell you right now, it's on the agenda, and I'll go with the staff recommendation, which is October 3rd. They're going to have to take care of the situation by October 3rd, or they're going to be fined. Okay, so you don't have to give any testimony. They're not here to rebut it anyway. So we can't really go forward with a hearing.
Yeah, I have a video that nobody has put with it, where they're pretty much making my property flood the way that they're grading the property next to me.
But what you're requesting is, we're gonna find them in violation. We're gonna find them that they didn't get a permit for the fence and didn't get a permit for the concrete wall. We're gonna find that that's the case, and they're gonna have to remove them or get permits, or they're gonna be fined. So it really doesn't matter what anything else is.
Initially, that wall was 12 foot high, and then I had to get a lawyer, and the lawyer,
Yeah,
made
but
where they put it down.
I can't really take testimony, though, because we're gonna find this in default. The case is really, to be honest with you, and I know I can't take it, but you win. So you don't need to do anything else. All right, I can't really take any testimony at this point, okay? If they had shown up, if the corporation representative showed up, then you would have been allowed to show your evidence. But they didn't show up, so they don't obviously care, so they're gonna be found guilty. Moving on, number 16, case number 2507-115449. Location of violation is 9125 Orange Avenue in Fort Pierce. The property owner is the life estate of Linda Culpepper. Please state your name and address.
Yes, sir. My name is Melanie Hess, 9125 Orange Avenue, Fort Pierce, Florida, 34945.
Will you be speaking as well?
She is, may I say, she is my aunt, my mother's sister, and she is in the process of getting guardianship of my mother and our property.
Is she going to be speaking today?
Yes, ma'am.
Then she'll have to give her name and address as well, please.
My name is Sandra Goulden. My address is 8096 Southeast Wren Avenue in Hobe Sound, 33455.
Thank you. Please raise your right hand. Do you affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Yes.
Let me make sure I understand, Ms. Hess, you are the daughter of Linda Culpepper?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And Sandra Hess, Golden?
Yes, I'm her younger sister.
And you're her younger sister, just so I know why you're speaking on her behalf.
Okay.
Okay, very good. All right, the investigating officer in this case was Josh Guevara, and Mr. Guevara is going to present his case at this time, and then you'll have an opportunity to respond.
Good morning, Mr. Krieger. For the record, I am submitting 34 photos dated July 21st, 2025, 3 photos dated August 11th, 2025, and 1 photo dated September 2nd, 2025. 9125 Orange Avenue was found in violation of, and the photos will depict all this, section 1300.01, boarded up windows, section 13.08.01, insects and rodents, section 13.08.01, unsanitary pool, section 13.08.01, plumbing in disrepair, section 13.08.01, electrical system in disrepair, section 13.08.01, walls and floors in disrepair, section 13.09.00, pergola gazebo in disrepair, section 3826, outside storage, section 3826, unserviceable vehicles, and section 7.10.35, cargo container in AR1 zoning. A notice of violation letter was issued on July 21st, 2025, and after receiving no compliance, a notice to appear letter was issued on August 8th, 2025 for the code board hearing of today's date, September 3rd, 2025. Because of the life safety extent of some of the violations, the county had to go in and rectify 2 of the violations by covering the unsecured pool and cutting the grass. And I have purchase orders here. The unsecured pool was covered on August 4th, total expense of $5,875. And the overgrowth grass was cut on August 5th, a total cost of $4,000. As of today's date, September 3rd, 2025, the property remains in violation. I've had contact with Ms. Melissa Hess, and she's here today to speak to the special magistrate and request more time.
Thank you. Ms. Hess,
Yes, sir.
are these violations correct?
Yes, sir, they are.
Tell me what you're going to do about them.
Well, my father lived on...
Please speak into the microphone.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You'll have to-
I thought it was loud. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
We need to get it in the record.
My father, Sam Culpepper, lived on the property until 2022. And so the RV that is there, when he left in 2022, he left that behind, along with the 2 pods in the backyard. So also the carport, that's not something that we want to fix. That was just there when we moved in. That's something we're hoping to just bulldoze. Well, I know what I would ask for, Your Honor, is time to get rid of the RV, and the pods in the back don't have wheels on them, so we're not even sure exactly how we're going to do that. We're hopefully going to find some friends maybe that can come up and help us. I think that's really, well, I mean, the inside, go ahead.
I was going to say, the main concern is the inside of the property. That's what,
The main, I'm sorry, is the
yeah,
inside?
the inside is something that can be addressed as soon as
It's gonna be
possible.
what? I can't hear.
The inside will be addressed.
The inside of the property is something that should be addressed as soon as possible.
Okay.
Why does it look like this?
Sir, it's, if I may, back in 2022, there should be record, I had, animal control came out and adult protective service was there, sir, and they walked through and the house was spotless. What happened is I haven't worked in so long. I want to cry. Don't feel sorry for me, I'll get it together. But I haven't worked in so long. We actually had an exterminator out there years ago. My mom was a hoarder, and it's very hard to live with someone who doesn't clean up after things. So with me not working since 2024, I've had no funds in order. It's embarrassing. No one wanted to live like that. It's humiliating, but I had no funds to take care of the problem.
All my years sitting as board attorney, not sure I've seen anything like this before. The interior of this structure. You were living in there?
I can agree.
You were living in there?
Not in those specific
There was 3 people that were
rooms, but
residing.
3 individuals were living in there.
Pardon?
3 individuals were living in there. This came in as a police complaint and a wellness check.
Correct.
That's how we were made aware of the conditions of the property inside.
Is anybody living there now?
There shouldn't be. The structure was tagged as unsafe, being that it's unsanitary, and I believe, Josh, correct me if I'm wrong, I think water was disconnected from the property.
The water was not disconnected. The water, we had water. I just showered in the morning and they showed up.
After the water was disconnected.
Oh, they disconnected it. We had water.
We haven't called any utilities to disconnect anything.
Oh, okay.
May I speak? We were never without water. Or electricity. Just without funds.
Mr. Guevara, if I find them in violation, they obviously are, and we want compliance, how are they going to get in compliance here? I mean, any ideas I mean, this is, wow. Yes, oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Please speak.
I hired an attorney to take custody of my sister, who has dementia, serious dementia, and I've moved her to Palm Beach County. I had a Zoom call with the judge and 3 attorneys, including mine. They've given me custody of her, and they are working on giving me guardianship over the property so that I can
Right.
go in there and have it all cleaned out. But that, I think, that Zoom call is on the 17th of this month.
So you've been, I'm familiar with guardianship proceedings. So you've petitioned and they have found her incompetent?
Yes.
And have appointed you guardian over the person?
Over and the property.
Well, have they appointed? Because
That I
sometimes they do
believe-
one over the person and then it might be over the property. Have you gotten?
That comes the 17th of
You're
this month.
expecting to get
Yes,
the
that's
judge
it.
to rule that you'll have control of her property. That would be real estate and any funds she might have.
Right.
Do you know of any funds that she has?
The only funds that she has are her Social Security that takes care of her care, and then the property is worth over $500,000. But it's in a life estate. So.
And who are the remainder beneficiaries?
My niece and her daughter. But I'm going to make an attempt to somehow get that out of there so that I can take care of this.
Do you know if the life estate, and I'm familiar with these things, is an enhanced life estate deed, or is it just a straight life estate?
I'm not
Because an enhanced life estate deed, AKA Ladybird deed, don't ask me why they came up with that name, gives the owner of the property of the life estate to be able to sell it, mortgage it, do whatever they got to do. But if it's not an enhanced life estate deed, I'm not sure you can do anything. You can only just live in there. But you're responsible for cleaning it up, and you'll be liable in that respect.
Well, that was my intention, was to be responsible to get it cleaned up and then to try and make an attempt to sell it. I'm not sure I have the paperwork on the estate.
I'm not sure you can
Mr.
sell
Krieger?
it, though. I don't have the case in front of me. But if it's a straight life estate, I'm not sure you can sell it. Yes.
I did research that prior to when the case
Did you
was
look up the
opened,
deed?
and there's an enhanced life estate deed, and it was recorded on September 5th, 2018.
Oh, okay. Can I, you know what, I'd like to look that up right now myself. I think this is pertinent.
Okay.
Would you like to,
Well, you can go on the public records, right?
What? Just no, that's all right. They have it. I don't have it.
Unless you can put it up on the screen.
He's gonna have him put it up on the screen.
I'll get it. Look these up all the time.
So if it's an enhanced life estate, then there's nothing I can do unless I go to court and fight it. Didn't he say it? Didn't he say it? If it's not an enhanced life estate, I'm not sure. She's incompetent. If she dies, then it falls to you. We could kill her.
Ms. Guy, when was the deed,
The deed was recorded,
2018?
yes, 9/5/2018.
Okay, I'll have it.
Linda Culpepper.
Yeah, that's an enhanced life estate. Let me just read it.
Okay. I'm inside the case. I'm in the PDF file. He's found it there.
Fish on the ground, that's what I was telling you, that we'd be able to take it out. All right, well, watch out for the cats.
All right. My reading of this, it's a standard enhanced life estate deed. The grantor reserves the right to sell, mortgage, encumber, whatever. So if you get possession over the property, you can sell that property.
Okay.
Okay? I mean, and that may be what you need to do. on
That's
that
what I
thing.
planned on doing if I
Just sell it
was
and
allowed to.
get the money there, and then that money can take care of Linda Culpepper.
Right.
That's what the court would want to see happen.
And that's what I would do.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, she hates me, but I couldn't turn my back on her.
You're wonderful. No, that's what family's for.
Right.
Very difficult situation.
It is very difficult for me because of our relationship, but she is my blood and she is my sister, so I couldn't let her go to the state.
And they have found her incapacitated.
Oh, yes.
So that's already been done.
Yes.
She's been examined by the committee and all of that.
And she's in Darcy Hall Nursing Home down in West Palm. I
Okay.
moved her down there.
Very good.
So I do want to get this taken care of.
Yeah,
So
and-
it's no longer a headache
So if it's the
for me.
17th and you get, you could, if you get possession of control of the property, of a
That-
property, you can put that right on the market.
Believe
I mean,
me.
That's your plan.
Believe me, but I'm
Sell
going to
it.
try and get my brother-in-law up there to get the things that are his, like the two bodies of the 18-wheelers in the back and the
Yeah.
motorhome out of there. And if not, then I'll have a junk man maybe come and get it
Yeah.
for free. I don't want it. I want it out of there. But I want to get it cleaned up.
Yeah.
Sir, excuse me, just one question.
Go ahead.
What I was going to say is that if and hopefully when she becomes the
Guardian.
Yes, thank you. Wouldn't we be able to just, would we still have to do the violations, or could we just bulldoze everything and?
Right, I mean, they could go away if we.
They could demo it with a permit.
Demo and everything
Right.
with a
Because
permit.
We wouldn't be selling it for the house, we'd be selling
For
it
the
for the
property, I
land.
know.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean, you're not gonna sell.
House needs to go.
And nobody's
Right.
gonna want the property with the house there unless they wanna pay for the demolition.
Just needs to be
Yeah.
demolished.
Well,
That may save on some, I'm sorry, that may just save on all the,
we're gonna, I don't know
Just
what
as
it
long as
costs
it's
to
gone.
even demolish a structure like that, because you're gonna need upfront money to do that.
Yeah,
I'm
we'd have
just
to
trying to
have-
think your case through, you know?
I think cleaning's a lot cheaper than demolishing a structure.
Well, I will make sure that it gets cleaned out, but we still need to
Yeah,
demolish it.
you're gonna
It's
need a
still
little
disaster.
time here, but you're in a difficult situation. I
And
really,
especially back in there. I know I am,
Ugh.
and it's just me. At 71 years old, I've decided to take this on.
the county, you indicated the county came in and took care of the dangerous situation,
Yes.
right? So everything else really doesn't pose a
It's
safety.
still an
uh,
unsanitary.
It's still unsanitary,
it's-
but the
it's-
main issue are the
The
unsecured
average person
pool.
on the street wouldn't, unless they were trespassing, wouldn't be
Yeah.
endangered,
I would
right?
like to put a post sign on the gate so that no one can enter.
There is a
there
gate
but
too,
us.
so there is a gate. Yeah.
There's a gate.
I would say you should do that. I'm not sure you can do that until you get possession of the property. But at 17th, that's not too,
That's-
that's pretty good.
that's the
They
spot.
move these cases pretty well, I've seen in my history of handling some guardianship cases.
Well, I had to do something. I couldn't just, they were homeless. I couldn't
Yeah.
leave her, my niece and her daughter homeless. So
All
I
right.
just decided to step up. The only one between me and my brother that would do it, so.
Okay.
And if you can give me just a little bit of time to get this,
How much time do you think you need?
well, when I find out on the 17th, when I have this next Zoom call with the judge
Yeah,
and my
that's-
attorney, I'll know for sure
Right.
what the date will be for all this to be signed and to,
Normally he'll issue it, I don't want to speak for the judge, but it should normally be effective that day.
it's a Zoom call, so I'm not quite sure, but
Yeah.
I'll get in touch with my attorney
Your
today
attorney
when I
knows
leave
how to
here.
do this stuff, and you can.
I don't even
Yeah,
know
he
what a
can
Zoom
pre-
call
he can-
is.
He can prepare the order and get
Yeah.
it right over there to be signed.
No, but I will get it as soon as I
You
can.
will, yeah, I think this is moving in the right direction, I really do. and I
I'm
think-
trying, sir.
Yeah.
Believe me, I'm trying.
I'm sure you are, all right. So how much time, I'm thinking, let's say you're assumed, you're gonna be approved the 17th, you'll probably be in charge on the 18th or the 20th, the latest, of September.
Yes, sir.
So then, how long do you think then? You can get going right away.
Maybe 60 days at the most.
Yeah, we can certainly do 60 days, I'd probably do 90 days.
Well, 90 would be even better.
Well,
Just
got a lot
in
of
case I
work
can't
there.
get it done in 60, but I'll try.
Yeah, I think so. So that would be, if we took this, I mean, we could do,
I mean, I want to get a dumpster in there and get all that stuff that's, I think, I just saw out of there and
Maybe if he would grant us 90 days and we would.
he said 90 days.
And that would
so-
be,
well,
Exhibit.
staff, do you object to 90 days? Would you like a shorter amount? Just please, I want to hear
My
from
con-
everybody.
My concern is to make sure that the home stays unoccupied.
Oh, no, nobody's
Oh, no
going
one's
to be
there.
there. Up.
Yeah.
No way.
That would be my only concern, otherwise I don't have an issue with 90 days.
I'm living.
They live
staying
with me,
her.
so
My daughter and I are
nobody
staying
will be
with
there.
her.
No one lives in there. Or
Your
will.
testimony is very credible to me,
No, I'm
and I
not,
have to weigh that.
I wouldn't lie to you, I promise.
That's why I brought her. She's the smart one. I'm the emotional one.
Well, smart. It just needs to get done. Thank you so much for your help.
Okay, I'm a little less than 90 days I'm going to, but I'm going to get you into December, at the first part of December.
Okay,
You'll
that's
have this
perfect.
done.
That's
So then
fine.
there's going to be a fine, and it's going to attach to her assets.
Right.
Okay?
I knew that.
Yeah, okay. Anything else? Okay. In reference to case number 2507-115449, I make the following determination after hearing the facts in this case, the testimony and the recommendation of staff with regard to the existence of a violation. I, as magistrate, determine that the violation in fact did occur and the alleged violator committed the violation. An order of enforcement is warranted. If the order of enforcement is not complied with by December 10th, 2025, a fine of up to $250 may be imposed. The cost of $200 is being imposed as a cost for prosecuting this case. It will be paid with the proceeds down the road. Please take notice that on the first Wednesday of the month, after the date given for compliance at 9 a.m. or soon thereafter as may be heard, a fine hearing will be held if the violation is not abated by the given compliance date.
Okay.
Okay, so you understand. And that prosecution costs $200. Once, I'm just saying, once you are in charge of the
Okay.
situation, then you'll be able to pay that out of proceeds or out of her
Yes.
monies, because she'll be liable, and you as guardian have to
I'll
do
pay
what's,
it, yeah.
okay?
Yes.
Well, I hope you get this all taken care of by
Oh, I plan on it, believe me.
December 10th, because if not, then you'll be here in the beginning of January for a fine hearing.
I'll have it done by then, I promise.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
sir.
Good luck to you. both.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming. I'm glad you were able to make it. Thank you, Paul. Yeah, thank you. Bye.
Seventeen. Case number 2507-115398. Location of violation, 301 Bartow Street in Fort Pierce. Property owner Zachary Taylor. Mr. Taylor, are you here? Don't see Mr. Taylor. Let's move on. Case number 2507-115335. Location of violation, 5313 South 25th Street in Fort Pierce. Property owner, Sean and Sarah Thomas. Are the Thomases here? No. Sean or Sarah Thomas? No. Case number 19-2508-115-523, just for information. Location of violation, 764 Southeast Prima Vista Boulevard in Port St. Lucie. Property owner Moses A. Hill Jr. This has been removed for compliance efforts. So the individual is making good progress. That's good. We want compliance. I believe, okay, we're going to, that's the end of our violation hearings, except that we have some default matters to deal with. So I'll read them into the record, the cases, and then we'll sound the halls and see if anybody's out there. It's just a formality, but we'll do it. Let's make sure I'm correct. The first one for default would be case number 1-2501-114-402. Location of violation, 1105 Charlotta Street, Fort Pierce. The property owner is the estate of Robert W. Englishman. Next would be number 3, case number 2501-114436. Location of violation, 784 Nettles Boulevard in Jensen Beach. Property owner, Sidney N. and Margaret Woodmore. Are the Woodmores here? They are not. Number 8, I believe, is next. Case number 2504-114950. Location of violation, 2023 St. Lucie Boulevard 249 in Fort Pierce. Eduardo Aponte, property owner. Case number 2505-115023. Location of violations, 6605 Bayard Road in Fort Pierce. Property owner, Fanique Pierre. Case number 2506-115243. Location of violation, 3119 Hammond Road in Fort Pierce. Property owner, Custom Built Marine Incorporated. Case number 2507-115398. Location of violation, 301 Bartow Street in Fort Pierce. Property owner, Zachary Taylor. Case number 2507-115-335. Location of violation 5313 South 25th Street, Fort Pierce. Property owner Sean and Sarah Thomas. I believe I've covered all the cases of those individuals that have not shown up.
That is correct. That's been verified.
Right, and the compliance date, I'll do an order here, but a compliance date for these default cases as recommended by staff will be October 3rd, 2025. And just we'll just go with this book. In reference to the cases that I read into the record, I, as magistrate, enter an order finding these alleged violators are in default, and they did not appear to protest the violations against them. And I adopt the recommendations of staff as set forth on the agenda. Done. I believe we're ready for the fine hearings. I'm just going to call a very short recess before we take on the fine hearings. What time is it now? Let's just do it. Everybody stretch on out, get some steps in. My daughter's a physical therapist. She says sitting is the new smoking, and it's better to move around a little bit. So we'll do, let's get back here at, in 10 minutes, about 10 minutes. Let's say 11:50 will be fine, 10 minutes to 11.
Thank you.
We're recessed.
pulled a report while we were sitting here. Our average turnaround time in the building is 5.25 days. Now, I can't speak for planning.
Everybody ready? We will reconvene as the special magistrate hearing. We are now going to consider fines in the fine hearing section of the agenda. We'll start with case number 1. And this case has been continued from July 3rd, 2024, December 4th, 2024, and June 4th, 2025. 3 continuances on a fine hearing. It's case number 2310-111847. Location of violation 507 South 33rd Street in Fort Pierce. The property owner, Jeff Begun Holdings, LLC. Please approach, state your name, address, and be sworn in.
Good morning, Ryan Wynn. Address is 1015 West Indiantown Road, Jupiter, Florida, 33458.
Do you affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. The investigating officer is Merlande Moyes.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, and state your case.
Good morning. For the record, I am resubmitting 2 photos dated October 9th, 2023, 2 photos dated November 28, 2023, 2 photos dated December 9th.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir.
Excuse me, Ms. Moyes. My computer, I don't have the screen. I lost the video on it. I know there's something just to press. Which button? This one here? We should know that. Thank you. Okay. Ms. Moy, sorry for the interruption.
Not a problem.
I just want to see all these pictures.
So I'll go ahead and take it from the top. For the record, I am resubmitting 2 photos dated October 9th, 2023, 2 photos dated November 28, 2023, 2 photos dated December 19, 2023, 1 photo dated January 2nd, 2024, 1 photo dated June 4th, 2024, 1 photo dated July 1st, 2024, 2 photos dated December 2nd, 2024, and 2 photos from a previous case from the neighboring property, case number 105003, taken by Officer Sissio on March 15, 2021. 1 photo from a previous case from the neighboring property, case number 105467, taken by myself on August 2nd, 2021, and 1 photo dated September 27th, 2021. And property appraiser aerials from 2021, which shows what the roofs previously looked like before, and a property appraisal aerial from 2023, which shows the re-roof of the structures on the property. I am submitting 2 photos dated June 2nd, 2025, and 3 photos dated September 2nd, 2025. This case was brought before the January 3rd, 2024 Code Board meeting for Section 11.05.01 Building and Sign Permits to please obtain a permit for the new roofs on each of the structures and to obtain a renovation permit for the work done to the structures on the property. Section 11.05.00 Procedure for obtaining development permits to please obtain a zoning compliance for the business on the property. Also, Section 42-103, Payment of Tax Prerequisites to engaging in business to please obtain a business tax receipt for the business on the property, has abated. That section is now abated. At the January 3rd, 2024 Code Board meeting, the owner and his attorney were present. The board found the property in violation and gave a compliance date of June 1st, 2024. Due to non-compliance, the case was brought before the July 3rd, 2024 fine hearing meeting. The attorney was present. The board made a decision to continue the case to December 4th, 2024 fine hearing meeting. At the December 4th, 2024 fine hearing meeting, the attorney and the owner were present. The board made a decision to continue the case to the June 4th, 2025 fine hearing meeting. At the June 4th, 2025 fine hearing meeting, staff requested that the case be continued to the September 3rd, 2025 Code Board meeting for fine hearing. The board made a decision to continue the case to the September 3rd, 2025 fine hearing meeting. A permit is still required for the work done on the exterior of the big structure located in the front of the property, such as the stucco work and the mini splits that are on the structure. Permit number BLDC-2403-002321 was filed on March 26, 2024 for the work done on the exterior of the structure, which is still in review. A permit is still required for the new roof, the enclosure of the window, and the stucco work on the exterior of the smaller structure towards the back of the property. In addition, the property is still in violation for Section 11.05.00 to obtain a zoning compliance for the business on the property. July of 2024, staff was informed that there are 2 businesses operating on the property. Therefore, zoning compliance is required for both of the businesses on the property. I have had contact with the owner and his attorney. The attorney has been diligently working with me to bring the property into compliance. As of September 2nd, 2025, the property remains in violation.
Ms. Moyes, did I hear you correct? Is 42103, has that been taken care of?
Yes, that section did abate. They do have the business tax receipts for
So
both
we're looking
businesses.
for zoning compliance permit, and we're looking for the permit for the new roof. Did they apply for the new roof? That's under review?
Well, they do have 2 roof permits in the system, which is for the 2 structures towards the front of the property. However, the smaller structure in the back of the property still requires a permit for the roof work.
Okay. And it's in review for the windows and stucco and mini splits? That
Well,
permit?
the mini splits was not included on that. There is the permit that I mentioned in review.
Mhm.
There is a stucco work for that. There's a couple of permits in the system that needs to be looked at by the owner and the attorney.
Well, you said they've been working very diligently towards compliance, which is what we want. What are your thoughts as far as any additional time before a fine runs? Because they've been found in violation, as they know. And it's just when do we get the clock running with fines? I mean, that's basically what's staff's position on that. Right now, I see a recommendation of a begin date of June 2nd, 2024, with a maximum fine up to $35,000. Is that staff's position?
Yes, that is staff's position.
And why $35,000?
It's because of the value of the property. The value of the property is $435,000. So $35,000 is below the 10% we usually request.
Okay, thank you for that information.
You're welcome.
All right, Mr. Nguyen, tell me what you've done. Apparently you've done some things, but not enough, and this has been going on. The case is over 2 years old, almost, and I know the Code Enforcement Board has been very generous with time on this matter, but we do have to resolve it. So you've probably been watching me. We're going to resolve cases. So tell me, where are we?
Yep, and Magistrate Kiger, admittedly, there's been a calamity of errors on my client's part, as well as some false assumptions. He was under the the person who we bought the property from was a general contractor, did a lot of, or if not a majority of this unpermitted work. Purchase agreement required the old contractor to remedy the permit issues, gave multiple assurances that he was going to, didn't. Turns out they lapsed or the applications weren't complete. We've been trying to locate somebody else that would be able to come in and remedy some of these permitting issues. A lot of them have been difficult. Trying to get a roofing contractor to come in and take over the permitting process for a job they didn't do and aren't going to get to do because it was already done has been difficult. So my client's now hired an independent consultant to try and consolidate these the building permit issues as well as product specs and things like that that are needed as a consultant on a consulting basis, which should rectify the building permit issues. As for zoning, that was the false assumption. My client was under the false impression that the zoning issue was related to the septic. When the tenants went to get their business licenses, they were told they couldn't do it because there wasn't a septic. So he's spent, I think it was almost $40,000, if not more, to replace and redo the entire septic system, which was done. Then the business tax issues were resolved, and that's been abated. But if the board or yourself would be willing for another 60 days, we should have, and I'm going to personally, when we leave here, take control of it as well with this consultant to make sure that it's not just pushed to a contractor who drops the ball again. I don't see any reason why within 60 days we can't have every single one of these permits cleaned up, either amended or renewed, and done properly for every issue that Ms. Moyes has informed us of. And we should be able to have this rectified. He's trying to improve the property. He's doing what he can to, as business allows, and I understand that's not your concern so much, but we are making an active effort, and unfortunately it just hasn't happened as quick as we would have liked and as the county would have liked.
Staff, any other comments with regard to this matter? He's asking for 60 days. As I understand that would be 60 days because I'm going to impose a fine today at some point, and for the fine to start running if you're not in compliance.
I understand.
Because staff is recommending that we go back to June 2nd of 2024, but I want compliance. Staff, does that sound reasonable?
No objection.
No objection? We're gonna issue a fine today.
Okay.
And the clock will be ticking. All right, so 60 days and it goes away if you got everything done.
Okay.
If not, $250 a day is going to start going.
Okay.
Okay. If everybody's in agreement, we're going to do that. All right, Ms.
Yes,
Moyes?
I am.
You are?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
This is a 2-year-old case.
I understand.
Okay, in reference to case number 2310-111847, I, as magistrate, make the following determination. After hearing the facts in this case, the testimony, and the report of staff that the violation still exists, and having considered the gravity of the violation, the actions, if any, taken by the violator to correct the violation, and any previous violations, I make the following determination. A fine of $250 per day shall be imposed for each day the violation exists, starting November 3rd, 2025, with a maximum fine not to exceed $35,000. So ruled. Thank you. Okay,
Thank you.
so got 2 months to get those permits going.
Absolutely. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
All right, our next case was continued from April 2nd, 2025. Case number 2406-113-136. Location of violation, 5112 Sea Grape Drive in Fort Pierce. Property owner, John Donahue. That's not John Donahue, but he's coming, I
Slowly
believe.
approaching.
Okay. Please state both of your names and address and be sworn in.
My name is John Donahue, 5112 Seagrape Drive, Fort Pierce, Florida, 34982.
Heather Stewart, 5112 Seagrape Drive, Fort Pierce, 34982.
Can you both raise your right hand? Do you affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, the investigating officer, Josh Guevara.
Yes, sir. For the record, I am resubmitting 2 photos. One is dated December 12th, 2024, and one is dated June 13th, 2024. I am also submitting 2 new photos dated September 2nd, 2025. 5112 Seagrape Drive was found in violation of Section 110501, unpermitted structure in the backyard. A notice of violation letter was issued on June 13th, 2024. After receiving no compliance, a notice to appear letter was issued on August 28th, 2024, for the Code Board hearing of December 4th, 2024. At the December 4th, 2024 Code Enforcement hearing, the property was found in violation and given until March 5th, 2025 to comply, or a $250 fine would be imposed. At the April 2nd, 2025 fine hearing, the case was continued until today's hearing. As of today's date, September 3rd, 2025, permit BLDR 2502-008361 remains in review and the structure remains on site. Been in contact with the property owner and Ms. Stewart, and they're here to speak to the special magistrate and request additional time.
Thank you. Why is it in review?
Comments were sent back on March 10th, 2025, requesting deficiencies on the application. They were missing plans for the project, and they were missing the property line boundaries and setback requirements on a site plan.
And when were they notified of those problems?
March 10th, 2025.
All right.
Yes.
Please tell me what you've been doing. I mean, it doesn't sound like a lot.
Well, when we were here the last time, we had brought up, we did get the notes from the county about what we needed for the permit. At that time, the stuff that was needed was outside of our financial means. We weren't able to do the survey because it was going to cost over $600. We did find an engineer who can do the plan, but it's still going to be around $400, so we're still looking at just $1,000 at a minimum in order to move forward with the project. So unfortunately, we have not done that at this time. As we stated the last time that we were here, my husband was injured at work in January, and he's had missed a lot of work over the last several months due to it, and so unfortunately we just have not had the financial means to keep up with this. What we have been doing though, because as you heard, these violations have gone back quite a while. One of the violations was having open storage, which we weren't allowed to do because we had to get rid of all of our storage units that we had. We've been using that as storage and slowly cleaning that out. So that's really what our primary focus has been, is getting all of our stuff into storage so that we can make a decision about what to do with this structure, because I don't know if we're going to be able to financially move forward with it.
Yeah, you can't give me a ballpark date when you might be in a financial situation.
What I'm going through right now also at the same time is because last year I wanted to take care of this, and I understand that it's been taking a long time. But because I got hurt and I couldn't come up with the money to pay my taxes and my business taxes plus property taxes, I didn't get to marry the properties in the fiscal year and move my pergola over. That's one of the issues right there that's taken me a longer time than I would have liked to, because I would have liked to take care of that already, but I missed the chance to take care of paying the taxes and my business taxes at the same time. We paid the file, but I have to pay in this year. I got rid of both the shipping containers, which was at least a $10,000 loss, including the shed. I cut my fence down to 6 foot and complied with that. I've cleaned up everything. Now, like we said, we took everything out of the shipping containers, which I do construction, so I had a lot of trim boards in there that needed to stay dry. I had a very, profiles on it. I wanted to keep this stuff, and I just spent 8 hours yesterday cutting it all up and throwing it out. So I'm trying to clean it up to make it look presentable. If you go past my house, you can't even see it. You have to actually stop and look through the bushes. We got video today that we drove past it slowly. You cannot see it from the street, and everything on the adjoining property has been cleared.
You said you got video today?
Yeah.
You have it with you?
Yes.
I'd like to look at it. Show it to the county attorney first, please.
I was reading that. That was a response from Chris. I know, but you need to do this first. So this is when you drive past my house. That's what sure.
Yes, please.
I custom built that shed myself because I do carpentry. It was beautiful inside there. It was a gazebo ceiling and everything. I got rid of it because I couldn't get a engineering packet on it.
So what structures you said you took down the shed?
The shed is gone. The two
So what-
shipping containers is gone. The
So
camper
what's still
is
there?
gone.
Is that
Only
brown
the
structure? He's speaking of the original notices. There were multiple violations. He's taking care of everything. The only thing pending is that brown structure that's unpermitted.
That thing there?
Yes.
That thing.
Well, I'm sorry.
It's just burglar. It's on pavers. It can
I'm
be
sorry.
moved.
It's
It has a nice tongue and groove ceiling. It has pictures of that.
it's on pavers. It can be moved.
Yes.
Well, yeah. But you need a permit for it. And then
Right,
obviously
and that's-
they will look at wind load and all that stuff.
Correct.
That's the problem. How long has that been there?
I'm very poor with
It's all right.
conception
Take
of
your
time.
I mean, it's at
I'm
least
easy
over a
going.
year. I mean, it's
Yeah.
lasted through hurricanes, so it's not going anywhere.
Well,
It lasted through the tornado last year as well.
Yeah, well.
See, that's what it's on. So it could be
It's
moved.
probably the safest
I was
structure
about
in
to
our
put
neighborhood.
wheels on it.
Okay, so. Josh is showing that it's on a paver.
Well, I mean, the bottom line is you've still been found in violation. And we're here today to decide.
I have other contractors, and I know you have the final say, but
Right.
when I bring it up to other contractors about getting an engineering packet and a permit for it, they're telling me I didn't need a permit for anything on pavers that could be moved. It's not a permanent structure. It's seasonal. If a hurricane comes, I could put it away.
I get what they're saying.
Yep.
Not sure I agree, but where would you put it? You know,
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
let's say a
false.
hurricane's
You would
coming.
brace it off and put it in,
Well,
like
I mean,
when
they're
the
talking
hurricane
about
came-
taking it down and moving it. You know,
The
it
hurricanes
can't
that
be
just
permanent.
passed, the two that just passed back to back, and the tornadoes that hit my neighborhood,
Yeah.
I braced it off.
Yeah.
It lasted two tornadoes in my neighborhood
You didn't get a
and two
direct hit.
hurricanes.
You didn't get a direct hit. though.
Our neighborhood did, yes.
Yeah, but
I
you
live on the
didn't.
next block.
But you didn't, yeah. All right. I'm not going to get into it. It's just that I understand the code and why that has to be
Well, I'm
dealt
saying
with.
that we've heard the worst weather.
Well, I don't know.
I braced it off.
Yeah, Francis or Gene, I don't know if you were here in 2004. I don't know if they would have made it through Francis and Gene. No, they were. It was a little different.
Well,
But
what I'm
anyway,
looking
I mean,
at,
a full-blown
nothing would have
hurricane.
made
I mean,
it through
well,
that, you know?
well, all right.
got
I don't want to
shipping
get into an
containers
argument. I'm
going
just looking at.
bending
I'm just
around
saying,
trees.
Francis stood on top of us for like 3 days, blowing, and with the rain, I'm not sure that would have made it through. To be very honest with you, not many things did. Okay, you know, it just doesn't sound to me like you're going to be able to get into compliance in the near future on this matter.
could move it to
and
my
I
property
can't
next door.
continue. I can't continue it. If you could move it,
I could move it.
you can put it away somewhere,
I could move it to my property next door.
but it can't sit outside.
It'll be in violation still. It needs to
Then I'll
pass.
start the permit
You
process
still-
on that property.
Well,
I have to wait for the fiscal year.
well, okay.
It's got an open ceiling, you can see everything.
Yeah, I know, but it's been found in violation, and we're really here today to see what you've done to take care of it, and it doesn't seem like you've done anything to take care of it. So I have to
Everything
I
that
have to
happened.
consider the gravity of the situation and any actions taken to
Consider, I
correct
couldn't move
it.
for 3 months.
Correct
And
it.
then I did remove 2 shipping containers, a camper, and a shed, and cut a fence down. Plus, I cleaned out everything because we're using it for outside storage.
Right.
I didn't have the financial means, because I've been out of work, to get the permit, the engineering packet.
Are you working now?
I just started working again, yes.
Good, great.
And just as a reminder, there is a lien reduction program that the county
Right.
does offer, so
Right.
if it's found in violation today, or if the fine is imposed today, then once the property does come into compliance, you
Yeah.
know, and the board has that program available, they will be able to apply for that, for the reduction.
Yeah, and as the
It's
county
not even
attorney
finished
just,
being built.
but the county attorney just indicated, I'm going to impose a fine today, I'm just letting you know that. But,
If
as
I
she
had it on
indicated,
wheels, would I be able to move
once you get to a situation where you've abated the situation to Mr. Guevara's satisfaction, you can come back here and ask for the fine to be reduced, okay? And I'll take a look at what you've done, and if you've moved it and he's in agreement, then I'm sure we can work something out, okay? So it's not the end of the world here, okay? But I don't want to continue it, I want to get a fine going on it, and then you can move, once you're in compliance, you can come
The question
Come
I'm
before
trying to
me and ask me to move
If
it
it's
down.
on wheels and it's able to move around, does it still need
You'll
a permit?
have to
Yes,
talk
it needs a
with-
permit. It is a structure, was built or constructed, so under the Florida Building Code, it's considered a structure. It needs to have a continuous load path from the roof all the way down to a foundation, so it needs to be anchored.
So I have to put it in concrete 2 feet down in the ground and then that's that?
However it's attached will be determined by the design professional and whatever design they come up with for it to be attached.
Okay.
They're on 12 by 12 concrete pads, so all I gotta do is put dirt on it and it would be.
Thank you. Anything else?
It's the only thing on my property. I own 2 properties. It's the only thing on it is a 10-foot wide by 18-foot long pergola. And this is Florida. Where do you want me to sit? Under a tree?
In reference to case number 2406-113-136, I, as magistrate, make the following determination. After hearing the facts in this case, the testimony, and the report of staff that the violation still exists, and having considered the gravity of the violation, the actions, if any, taken by the violator to correct the violation, and any previous violations, I make the following determination. A fine of $50 per day shall be imposed for each day the violation exists, starting September 15th, 2025, with a maximum fine not to exceed $5,000. Thank you.
And at the same time this year, my license was suspended for child support because my 17-and-a-half-year-old daughter moved out to her mother's house. I was able to just afford her. Look at my sneakers.
You know, just to let staff know, and I know a lot of these recommendations are $250 a day, and the board had a policy, they like $250 a day. We don't have to fine somebody $250 a day. If you feel that some action has been taken or they've been very cooperative, we want compliance. So, I mean, you certainly can recommend something less than $250 a day, and I will certainly consider that, like $50 a day, $100 a day, up to $250, and you can do it based on each case. The gravity of the situation is something you have to look at as well. And I'm just letting you know that I'm not just solid that every case has to be $250, okay? It can be because I want compliance, and if we can get compliance, somebody says, okay, I can maybe catch up here. I got a little time before that $50 comes in, or if I only miss a few days, it's $100, $200. Then maybe we'll get some more compliance. That's what I'm really looking at. If you put somebody in the hole right away sometimes necessarily, then what's the incentive to do anything? All right.
Understood.
Just letting you know that where my thinking is, and I think I used to relay that to the board, but they had their own way of doing it, which was fine. They did a great job, believe me. A great board. Everybody, they're probably watching me right now anyway, so hi. No. Everybody say hi. But no, they did, and I really did, having worked as a board attorney for 30 years, code board attorney for 30 years, saw a lot of good dedicated local residents giving their time without any remuneration and really taking the cases very seriously. And I think they all need to be applauded, past or present. I'm going back to 1995, all of you. But, you know, the reason we have a magistrate now, I can certainly make a decision on what I think is fair, and we'll do it that way. Okay. Because I notice everyone is 250, every recommendation, and I know that. But you don't have to. But if you do, I'll certainly take that into consideration as well. But just letting you know that don't take offense if I take a $250 fine and drop it down to $50 a day. Okay. Because all I want is to give that gentleman and his wife an opportunity maybe to comply and figure out, okay, the clock is ticking, it's $50 a day. I got a week or two, maybe I can move this thing or take it down. Okay. All right, case number 3. 2503-114694. Location of violation across from 5108 Juanita Avenue in Fort Pierce. The property owner, Eli Schwartz. Do we have somebody representing Eli Schwartz? Come on up. Come on down, I think that's. State your name and address and be sworn in.
Yes. Angela Schwartz, 5248 Bosque Lane, Condo 6, West Palm Beach, 33415.
Can you raise your right hand? Do you affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. We're going to hear from the investigating officer, Mr. Morara.
Yes, sir. For the record, I am resubmitting 3 photos dated March 19, 2025, 2 photos dated April the 8th, 2025, 5 photos dated May the 5th, 2025, 2 photos dated May the 6th, 2025, and I am submitting 4 photos dated August the 22nd, 2025, 5 photos dated September the 2nd, 2025, 1 photo from the property appraiser website showing the before condition of the lot, and 1 photo dated 2025 showing the after condition of the lot. This case was brought to the May 7, 2025 Court Board meeting for Section 38-26 for outside storage, Section 11.05.01 building and sign permits. Please obtain a permit for the unpermitted structure, and Section 8.00.03 F outdoor storage and recreation equipment. Accessory structures such as the recreation equipment, tents, vehicle, boats are not allowed on the property without a home or primary structure. Please remove. At the May 7, 2025 Court Board meeting, the owner was present. The board made the decision to continue the case to the September 3, 2025 fine hearing with a compliance date of August 6, 2025. I have remained in contact with the owner. As of September 2, 2025, there are no permits on file. As of September 2, 2025, the property remains in violation.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ms. Schwartz, tell me, what are we doing here?
I'm the messenger, sir.
Okay.
He
Don't
sent-
shoot the messenger, right? That's the
Please
old
don't,
saying?
please
Okay.
don't.
I won't.
He wasn't able to come today, and he sent me here with all this paperwork,
Okay.
thinking that I could give it to somebody and everything would be wonderful. So I don't really know, sir.
Really, it has to do with, well, he needed to get a permit. He needed to clean things up. So has anything been done on the property? You live there, right? Oh, no, you don't.
No,
This
I'm
is-
in,
oh,
I'm
this
in
is
West
across-
Palm.
Yeah, you're down in West Palm, okay.
I have a building permit application here. I don't know if that's
Yeah.
what you need. I mean,
But it's an unpermitted structure, right?
It sounds like he gave you a building permit application package that needs to be submitted with intake down on the southwest corner of the building.
Oh.
But that would need to be submitted by either a contractor, or if it's going to be an owner-builder application, the owner has to apply in person at the building because he has to sign the owner-builder affidavit in person.
This has been going on. He found out about this in March of this year. He's already been found, and this is your husband, I'm assuming, right, Eli? Eli Schwartz?
My son?
Is that your son, Eli
Yes.
Schwartz? Yeah, that he's been found in violation. So we're here today to decide how much of a fine he's going to get and give him some time, but he hasn't really done anything, has he, since he was found in violation. When was he found in violation by the board? Again, refresh my recollection.
Yeah, that was back in May 7.
May. We're in August, so May,
Is it-
June, July.
Is it possible to allow him more time?
No.
He gets back in town on Friday, and maybe a little bit of leniency. I'm sure you can take care of it when he gets back.
Yeah, I'd like him to take care of it. That's why we're here. you know?
Absolutely.
But I'm going to have to impose a fine. But
Okay,
I won't,
well-
I won't have it come. I won't have it start for a little while, and then maybe that'll give him the incentive that if he gets it done, then there's no fine.
Okay.
Okay. When's he going to be back in town? When you say back in town, where is he now?
Well, I don't know if you want to know where he
Oh,
is.
well, no, then, okay. I think
He's in Alaska for his 47th birthday.
he's in Alaska. When's he coming back from Alaska?
Friday night he flies in.
Friday night, he went at 47.
And he did want me to be here.
Well, and that's good.
Yes, it
That's
is.
good that he did have somebody here, because if somebody isn't here, the
Yes.
fine would be much more severe.
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay. All right, so he's known about this since March. He was found in violation in May. Was that a default, or was he here?
He was here, sir.
He was here?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, okay. So he knew what he had to do, and he hasn't gotten it done. Okay, I'm going to give him a little of time. He's going to be back. I'm going to give him a month before the fine starts running, okay?
Okay.
And then he's going to have a fine to deal with. All right. Anything else from staff? Any objection if I have the fine run, say a month from now, start running? And we may do a $50 a day as well here. Maybe we can get this gentleman who had some money to go to Alaska, so maybe he should have
Absolutely.
some money to take
Well,
care
that's
of
what I
it.
said, but he said, "Oh, Mom, I've got
That-
all these frequent flyer with JetBlue," so it's like, okay, whatever.
Well, yeah, but he could have sold those.
But I'll make sure he takes care of it, really.
Yeah, I know. What a good mom you are. Okay. And you came up from West Palm for today?
Yes.
And you've been sitting here all day.
Yes, and I didn't sleep all night because I was so worried about this.
You're a good
I
mom.
appreciate your understanding, all of you. Thank you.
Oh, that's all right. Okay, well, you made an excellent witness. Excellent witness. I would tell
Thank
him
you.
that. All right? That you bought him some time.
I-
All right? You
I
just
really
say, hey,
appreciate
son,
it.
I bought you some time. Now get it done.
I will. I'll
Okay.
definitely tell him.
All right,
Thank you
we're
so
gonna
much,
do-
everyone.
Oh, no problem. Okay. Let's do it this way. In reference to case number 2503, 114694, I, as magistrate, make the following determination after hearing the facts in this case, the testimony, and the report of staff that the violation still exists, and having considered the gravity of the violation, The actions, if any, taken by the violator to correct the violation and any previous violations, I make the following determination. A fine of $50 per day shall be imposed for each day the violation exists starting October 15th, with a maximum fine not to exceed $5,000. Okay, so he's got to October 15th. He
Very
cleans
much
this up.
appreciated.
Okay, but after October 15th, it'll be $50 a day. The clock will start running.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Be well.
Thank you.
Have a safe trip back to West
Yes,
Palm.
thank
The
you.
traffic is getting terrible, isn't it?
Tell me about it.
Wow. You're not kidding. I guess we've been around too long to remember the good old days. I'm reminiscing. Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm showing my age. All right. It's all right. That's what old people do. I can't help it. I want a relaxed atmosphere here. And you probably figured out, I mean, I don't mind even saying it. I'm kind of a little levity and all of that. You get a microphone in front of me, sometimes it's tough to shut me up. I used to be in radio. And that's why I'm here in Fort Pierce, originally. Anyway, okay. I know a lot of the old timers watching out there probably remember WIRA, WOVV radio. They were the top stations back in the 70s. Anyway, now nobody listens to radio anymore. Everybody just streams their music and everything else, myself included. Okay, all right. Let's get serious here. But I just feel a mother like that. I mean, it's just wonderful. It makes me smile. She actually made me smile for the day. You know, I mean, just wonderful that she's there. Her son's in Alaska, and she drives up from West Palm to save him. I mean, that's a mother's love. It's wonderful. All right. So it's $50 a day, October 15th. Maybe we can get compliance on that one. All right. Okay, case number 4. 2412-114320. Location of violation 2905 North US Highway 1, Fort Pierce. Property owner is 2905 North US 1 LLC. Okay. Is anybody here for this group? No. Okay. Well, Mr. Morero, we want to hear what's been done so I can consider the gravity of the situation and any actions taken. Tell me.
Yes,
were any
sir.
actions taken?
For the record, I am resubmitting 3 photos dated December the 15th, 2024, 3 photos dated December the 17th, 2025, and I am submitting 6 photos dated August the 15th, 2025, 2 photos dated September the 2nd, 2025, and 2 photos from the property appraiser website. This case was brought to the March 5th, 2025 Court Board meeting for Section 11.05.01 Building and Sign Permits. Please obtain a permit for the plumbing and electrical work. At the March 5th, 2025 Court Board meeting, the property manager was present. The board made the decision to continue the case to the July the 2nd, 2025 fine hearing with a compliance date of June 4th, 2025. After the July Court Board hearing was canceled, a notice to appear for the September 3rd, 2025 Court Board fine hearing was issued July 31st, 2025. As of September the 2nd, 2025, there are no permits on file. I have remained in contact with the owner and property manager. As of September the 2nd, 2025, the property remains in violation.
So no efforts have been made to get the permit for the plumbing and electrical work?
That is correct.
Nothing's on file. Okay. Now, as far as, I know they were set to come here in July. We didn't have a meeting. So they've been notified to be here today.
Yes, I made contact over the phone, and
Yeah.
they were told they had to be present today.
And you talked to somebody?
Yes, I spoke to the owner and the property
You did?
manager. Yes, sir.
They're down in Miami Lakes?
The owner the property manager is right on the property where the location is.
Really? So they could have
29
been here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Anything else?
No, sir.
Okay, we're going to go with staff recommendation on this one. It's important to show up. Anyway, in reference to case number 2412-114320, I, as magistrate, make the following determination. After hearing the facts in this case, the testimony, and the report of staff that the violation still exists, and having considered the gravity of the violation, the actions, if any, taken by the violator to correct the violation, and any previous violations, I make the following determination. A fine of $250 per day shall be imposed for each day the violation exists, starting June 4th, 2025, with a maximum fine not to exceed, and staff is recommending $50,000. Why before I go for this maximum?
Property value at this point is $1 million, so we did a 5% assessment over the value of the property, so that's why we came out with that amount.
Thank you. With a maximum fine then of $50,000. So ruled. We have one more. I believe that'll be it. Number 5, case number 2408-113562. Location of violation, 409 Oleander Avenue in Port St. Lucie. And it's Javier Miguel Padilla Ramos Jr. and Elia Padilla, correct?
Elia.
How do I say
Elia.
Elia?
Elia.
Elia.
Yes, sir.
Pretty. Okay, pretty name. Okay.
It's okay.
All right, get sworn in. Okay. Give your name.
Give your name and address, please.
My name is Brenda Ramos. It's 409 Oleander Avenue, Port St. Lucie, Florida, 34952.
Please raise your right hand. Do you affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay. The investigating officer is Paula Guy. Ms. Guy, testify.
Good afternoon. For the record, I am resubmitting 8 photos that have been taken by myself. They were taken August 16th, 2024, November 19th, 2024, January 13th, 2025, February 19th, 2025, and March 3rd, 2025. There's also 2 images of aerials from the property appraiser from the year 2023 and 2024. A submittal of 13 photos taken by myself on August 25th, 2025 and September 2nd, 2025. 409 Oleander was found in violation of section 11.05.01. A permit is required for the wood fence and the installed pool. The notice of violation was issued on August 16th, 2024 with a correction date by August 30th, 2024. The notice to appear was issued on February 19th, 2025 with a delivery date for the posting of the property on February 19th, 2025. The violation hearing took place on March 5th, 2025. The property owner was present and the code board granted a correction date of completion of August 6, 2025. As of today's date, the property remains in violation. The required permits have been applied for the pool demolition and is in denied status at this time. And the fence permit that was applied for still remains under review. I have been in constant communication with the property owners. They have sent a representative today to speak on their behalf. Also, the pool demolition was started on August 35th, 2025, as you can see in the photos presented today, without the required demo permits obtained. My observations from the inspection on September 2nd, 2025, as you can see, included more junk, trash, and debris that remains on the property. That has been addressed for a new violation, and the property owner is aware and will be working on getting that corrected, hopefully within the next 2 weeks.
You heard what was said.
Yes, sir.
Anything
Yes, sir.
to add?
Yes, I'm here to request an extension. We were working with the person that did the company that did the pool, Mr. Cody Christian from LRC Custom Services. Honestly, my son, he's my son. He was selling the house. I was living there with them. And we were trying to fix the pool where we can comply to get the permit because of the house being sold. We didn't want to have the property looking the way it was. We tried to talk to Mr. Christian. He kept giving up excuses every time that he was coming to the house to fix the pool. Never did until recently we were able to get a few men from our church that came and helped us demolition the pool because we were trying to comply with the time of getting the pool taken down. It was my fault. I kind of feel bad. I tried to do the pool for my grandkids, which I'm lost $20,000 right now. Because when I had the pool, when I did the contract with Mr. Christian, he told me I did not need a permit because there was an above ground pool and that the deck didn't need a permit. Right now I'm meeting with a lawyer because I'm lost of money right now. And like I said, I had to go to my church and get a few men to help us demolition the pool because my son had to leave to Ocala because he was for work. He is living in Ocala right now. That's why I'm here today. He's coming today with the other men from church because they own a company that has the container, the dump container, and they're cleaning the backyard. So he had to leave work, I had to leave work, and this is why I'm meeting with my lawyer today regarding Mr. Christian. So we are requesting an extension because they're there today to clean everything out of the yard. Because we just demolition everything. I mean, it took 5 men for the past week, every day after their job, to come and volunteer their time to take this pool down because I tried to do it with a hammer, but I didn't do any more, not too much damage on the pool since I don't know how to deal with that, but we couldn't get a permit. We tried to get a permit because we didn't have the drawing of the pool. We weren't able to get the permit. We tried to get someone to come and do the drawing for the pool so we can submit it to the state to try to get a permit. But at this point, it was $15,000. I mean, $1,500 to get the drawing. And my son didn't have the money. I didn't have the money because I just put it in a property since my son left. I had to buy a property because I'm here in Port St. Lucie. But it's been a big struggle trying to deal with Mr. Christian, trying to get,
Is he a pool contractor?
He's a contractor for LRC Custom Services. We didn't know that when he did the work, even his license were not working. He was referred to us by a friend, and we used him to do the pool. And I kind of, it was my first time doing an above ground pool, and I was trying to do it for my grandkids, and I feel bad that now my son is dealing with this because I was living with them. And I asked him, do I need a permit? He kept telling me no. And thank God I have it on my text messages. I have all the text messages, the contract and everything when I try to have him come and fix at least the pool so we can comply with the city. Every day was an excuse that he couldn't do it, that he got sick, that his wife had the car. It's always been it's been pretty hard trying to deal with him.
You gave him 20 grand?
I'm sorry?
You gave him 20 grand?
I gave him $15,000 to do the pool and the deck, and his labor.
Let me ask you this. Put that picture back of the pool for me. You keep saying above ground pool.
Yes, sir.
Why is that an above ground pool? It almost looks like it was a in-ground pool that was filled in.
Well, he told me that he had to dig at least 2 feet down. But I'm like, okay, if you're digging in the ground, don't we need a permit? He's like, no, it's only 2 feet. It's just so the pool can sit straight. And I just went with what he said. So I told my son, he said, we don't need a permit. If that was the case, I would have gotten the permit from day one with no problem after paying $15,000. I mean, right now I'm a loss of the money that I put in the pool because we had to get all these men to just come and tear it down. So even the pool, we broke it down. We broke it in pieces in order to get it out of the ground.
So getting a demolition permit for this thing?
Correct.
Really?
Yeah, because there was a deck built around it as well.
I would just think you just get some dirt, fill it in, and put some sod
We are
down.
getting some dirt as well to fill
Yeah,
it in
but-
to
Yeah,
comply
that's what
because
so the permit process for demolition is to verify that everything's been removed and all the, any utilities required, electric, if there was electric there, make sure it's all disconnected properly and that the ground is basically put back to the original state.
So why is it a problem? I mean, she just can't get this over the counter or anything like that?
Well, the demolition permit was denied because it was applied for as an owner-builder, and you can't do an owner-builder if the intent's to sell the property within 12 months. Because it's only the purpose of an owner-builder is for your own use per statute.
I mean, we didn't know, and right now we lost 2 offers on the home. So my son is paying for rent right now because he couldn't buy another house. So he's paying for rent and paying for the mortgage in the house. So I've been trying to trying to fix the yard to help him out, but I just bought a home as well because my son left for work. So I'm like, we've been financially struggling right now trying to get this fixed here.
What about the fence permit?
The fence was already in the home when he bought the home. The fence was already there, so we didn't know. We took it down to try to get all the work done in the pool. So all we did is put it back up once the pool was done. So we didn't even know that the home didn't even have a permit for that fence.
Because if you took it down, then you wouldn't need a permit, right? That's not a demo to take down the fence, right?
I mean, theoretically, anything that's built that's going to be demolished should have a demolition permit, so it's on file that it's been removed.
Yeah, the fence was there. All we did was took it down to get the
There's
pool stuff in,
oftentimes-
then we put it back up.
Because I've seen
But
cases here where people didn't get a permit, and then I thought, well, if they didn't get a permit, the option was 1, get a permit, or 2, take it down.
A permit to demolish it and take it down.
A permit.
Yeah.
Is that over the counter, right? No?
It's not over the counter because we got to make sure that they're actually showing on their plan what they're demolishing, but it's a quick turnaround.
yeah, we didn't know that. They told us just to either have the pool set up the right way or take it down so we wouldn't get a fine. Is the reason why I went to church and got a few men to come, and we took it down. We thought by taking it down,
Well, what he's saying is you can get people from church to help you out all you want, but they can't do it without a permit.
Yeah, we didn't know that. That's what I'm saying. We thought that because we were taking it down, we
So-
didn't need a permit. Then my son's like, but I tried to get a permit. They wouldn't give it to me. So we didn't know because he was trying to sell the house before he moved to Ocala, and now we can't.
Yeah, and if he sold the home, nobody wants to buy the headache with the home.
I don't blame them. I wouldn't either.
So what's
That's
he going
what
to
we've
do?
been trying to
So what are you
comply.
going to do? I mean, I know it's
We're
tough
trying
situation.
to fix it, and see if we can get a permit.
Yeah.
Like I said, we're going to get Dirk to fill do
Well,
it the
then-
right way, and we
But
just
to
been
apply
trying to do
for a
everything so
permit
fast.
sounded like it was a real big deal for the pool.
Yeah, that's why I'm
Right.
going after Mr. Christian right now because,
Yeah, you're going to have litigation, which can take forever, believe me.
yeah.
You
And
know,
that's
like-
okay. I just don't want him doing this to anybody else.
No, and has
because
he
at this
been,
point, it's been loss of work.
Has he been sanctioned here in the county at all? Christian, do you know? Is he brought before any board or anything?
It doesn't ring a bell.
The first time we came, they told us in the court that his license had been suspended.
Yeah.
Or it was, and then I guess he paid to get the license back up. That's what he told us. And then every day he said he was coming, but he never did.
What we can do here is, I got to impose a fine because we're at that stage. As the assistant county attorney pointed out to the other case, I mean, when you get this all fixed and taken care of, you can come in and request a fine reduction.
Okay.
All right. Because I'd like to give you some time if I thought it could get resolved in the next couple of months. But it doesn't sound like it's gonna.
I mean, all we need is to take all the all the garbage out, which they're coming today to take
Well,
out.
that's one thing, but you're being cited here for the fence in the pool.
The fence is down as well.
Yeah, but you didn't get a permit.
Okay. So how can we get a permit?
Well, you have to deal with staff to get a permit, right? A demolition permit after the fact? You can get a demolition after the fact?
Because we tried to get it before we take it down, but we were denied.
Well,
The denial was because you can't apply as an owner-builder if the intent's to sell the house. You can only do an owner-builder permit if the intent's to use the property for your own use. So you would need a
okay.
contractor to apply for the demolition permit,
So we had to get a contractor to demolition,
to apply for the permit.
which it was Mr. Christian who was going to demolition and get the permit, but he never came in. So we took it
can
upon
al-
ourselves to try to comply with the
Yeah.
city.
You'll have to get another contractor who could, you probably can get a contractor for the fence, that's certainly in the pool, but you'll have to shop around. Just saying, you can't do it yourself as an owner-builder. So if he wasn't selling the property, that'd be a different story. But he's selling the property and you've testified, okay. Well, your heart was in the right place in all of this.
We're trying.
Yeah, it's tough. Well, I'm glad you got a lawyer.
Yeah, I'm meeting with him
Yeah.
today because,
Good.
I mean, right now we're losing a lot of money.
Yeah. No, everybody has lawyer jokes, but then, when they need a lawyer, that's sometimes the one person who can help you out in those tough times. All right?
That's right.
Betcha. All right. It sounds like you got a good case. I'm not just saying it sounds like you got a good case.
Oh, good.
Shouldn't be saying that, but that's just an observation based on the evidence I've heard here today. Okay. All right, let's do this. In reference to case number 2408-113-562, I, as magistrate, make the following determination. After hearing the facts in this case, the testimony, and the report of staff that the violation still exists, and having considered the gravity of the violation, the actions, if any, taken by the violator to correct the violation, and any previous violations, I make the following determination. A fine of $50 a day shall be imposed for each day the violation exists starting October 15th, 2025, with a maximum fine not to exceed $5,000. Thank you. Gives you a little time now. Maybe you could get those permits. Maybe find a contractor that'll get those demolition permits for you, and you get this resolved in a month.
Okay.
And then you don't have any fine, it just goes away.
Okay.
Then you can sell the property.
We're trying.
Have a good day.
Thank you. You as well.
That concludes our fine hearings today, I believe. There's nothing else on the agenda, correct, staff?
That's correct. Thank you.
Okay, well then we will adjourn at, I believe it's 11:55.
Correct.
AM.